If you've been hanging around the Daddykirbs farm for very long, you know that there's a structure over here on the far edge of the property that's kind of an eyesore. That barn is going to be tore down. But once I tear that down, Maggie needs a new place to live. Over on the other side of the property, all the way over here, I have a plan. Right now the ducks are enjoying the area that I have staked off for my new horse barn. Oops. We're building a horse barn. Well, not today, but we are building a horse barn real soon, within the next week or so. One of the challenges that I have is getting a square foundation. I know there are some simple techniques using math and, you know, things like that that I should know, but I find it difficult to get a square foundation. So I'm going to come up with something, or I have thought of something. I'm going to see if it works. What I have here already is a set of stakes that's pretty close, but I want to make sure that the corners are 90 degrees. I'll be cutting each of these 2x4s in half. Now this does not have to be absolutely precise. There's nothing precise. The only thing precise on this device that I'm making to help me make square corners is the 90-degree square corner. That's an old carpentry trick, at least I learned from some old guys, is just take a screw or a nail and you make a little triangle pointing to your mark on the measuring tape. Now I'll just use one of these boards for my template to mark the others. We're going to start building some square corners. Alright Luke, grab 3 of those boards and bring them over here. Like I said already, the only thing that has to be precise on these is the square corner. This is a framing square, and this is a 90-degree angle, and that's what we're aiming for. So this tool is going to help us build some 90-degree angles that I can better visualize how to lay this barn out. Okay, first thing, Luke, we're going to put 2 screws in the end of this. Now because we put 2 boards butt joint like that, it should already be pretty close to 90 degrees, but we're going to make sure it's exactly 90 degrees and then make sure it stays that way. I'm going to hold that square on there on the outside, and then I'll put it on the inside just to make sure. And once I'm confident that that's a 90-degree angle, I'm going to take one of these boards on the outside and secure it with 2 screws on this end and that end. That should hold that as a 90-degree angle. That's one of 4 square corners. Really all I did was build myself a tool to help me visualize how this corner is going to relate to the other corners. There's the first corner. I need to build the other 3, and then I can make sure that this is running parallel to the fence and that this one here is running parallel to a line that I have over here that is perpendicular to this fence. I ran out to the store earlier to buy that box of screws. Decided to go ahead and get a roll of high visibility string because the twine breaks way too easy. And that's the line that marks my fence that's going to have the gate on it that goes to the horse barn. Now isn't that a little easier to visualize? You have corners, square corners, and now all I have to do is make sure that the measurement between this point And this point is 12 feet. And then on the long side, it's 36 feet. So to help make sure that this line is perpendicular to the fence, meaning there's a 90-degree angle from the fence to this edge of the building, I took, let's see, where are they? Little pieces of string and tied onto this string, which is a perpendicular line off of that fence. And I measured from that string to this corner, because that's 12 feet from that post to that knot. I'm probably not pointing to it correctly, but that knot to this corner was a certain measurement. Didn't matter exactly how much it was. The only thing that mattered was that the knot that is 12 feet up the line here is the same distance to this corner. That stake was the first stake. It's the corner stake. It's the original one. So that one is pounded in. This one is just screwed to the board. And I was able to line this up using the tape. You can see it's lined up on the edge of that board that I put together. And it comes all the way up to here. And then I can tell that it's in line and also right at 12 feet at the outside of that stake. So that gives me the first wall to my horse barn. That's exactly or very close to 90 degrees off the fence and the same distance from this front fence that's going to be built up here. Now all the measurements will be taken off of this wall right here. Now, I didn't get it on camera, but Luke and I just ran those diagonals, measuring from this corner over to that one, and then again from this corner to this one over here, and they are spot on. Now, just in case somebody wants to come along and kick these and mess me all up, I'm going to go ahead and mark the ground where they're going to be drilled, because I'm going to have a tractor come in and drill these out with an auger. They're going to be 6 by 6 posts, so I'm just going to mark a little square right there. He's going to have to drill right there. Beautiful. So now even if someone comes along and kicks these boxes, I'll have everything marked right down the line. Every 12 feet here, 12 feet to the corner, and then again on the other side there's a 12-footer and a 12-footer. So what this does is it gives me a horse barn that's 36 feet long on the front. That's 1, 2, 3 12-foot by 12-foot stalls. I have lumber on order that's going to be delivered on Tuesday of this week. That's actually tomorrow. And then I have a buddy coming down with his tractor and auger, and we're going to drill these holes. That's going to happen on Wednesday. And I'm going to place all those poles just temporarily, stand them up in the holes. And this structure is going to take shape really fast. How you feeling, Luke? Pretty good? For some of you very experienced carpenters and really smart guys, this little corner brace that I built to help me identify the 90-degree angles and line up everything probably was completely unnecessary. But I needed that little something extra to help me visualize and help me line this up so that I will be confident when the tractor shows up on Wednesday, it's going to be good to go and he won't have to wait on me. Hey, sweetie. What are you doing up here all lounging in your red lawn chair?
I'm on duck watch.
Duck watch?
We had 2 ducks taken last week by predators, so I'm letting them free range and I'm on guard.
Oh.
I'm to protect them from coyotes and hawks.
So you just come up here and lounge and make sure the coyotes and hawks don't take our little duckies?
That's my goal today.
She's so cute.